to your mat in a really comfortable, just easy pose. Something that takes zero effort. You might like to cross your legs, you might like to sit back on your heels. And we'll just take the hands to the knees. And we'll begin with some grounding breaths. Maybe shutting down the eyes. And we start like this to connect with our bodies and to set the tone and pace for the next 30 minutes. I invite you to become aware of your breath, inhaling and exhaling through the nostrils, not forcing anything. Not making the breath longer or shorter, just meeting it where it is, allowing it to be natural and spontaneous. Begin to become aware of your sit bones on the ground. Feel the points of contact. Feel the weight of your body. And become aware of the bottom of your spine. Feeling stable and grounded here. Begin to bring the awareness up through the spine, traveling past the hips, through the shoulders, along the neck, and then bring the attention to the crown of the head, feeling tall. We'll take 3 deep breaths here, in and out through the nose. And take one more inhale. Open the mouth, exhale, let it all out. Okay, one more just like that. Don't be afraid to make some noise. We'll inhale. Exhale, let it go. You can gently flutter the eyes open if you like. And on an inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Palms touch gently. And then exhale, float the left hand alongside the body and stretch the right arm up overhead. Feeling a nice pull through the right ribs, maybe through the lower back, through the shoulders. Inhale, reach back up. And exhale, plant the right fingertips beside you. Reach over with the left fingers. Okay, we'll take one more on each side. Inhaling through center and then exhaling to bend. And once more over to the right. And then gently just float the hands back down to the knees. We'll take a gentle seated twist here. So taking the right hand behind the left knee, we'll plant the left fingertips behind us and just gaze gently over the left shoulder. Just warming up the spine. Good, come back through center, take the left hand behind the right knee, gaze over the right shoulder. If you hear any cracks or pops in the body, that's totally fine. Very normal. Okay. We'll take some gentle shoulder rolls. Inhaling to bring the shoulders up towards our ears, and exhaling, drop them back, round the shoulders and pull the shoulder blades back and down. 2 more just like that. Inhale and exhale. Just taking subtle movements to warm up here, depending on whether you've been one of those active warriors in lockdown or a bit of a couch potato. This will feel different for all of us. So just feeling into the joints, taking stock of any sticky points this morning. And then taking the hands back to the knees, we're going to take some seated cat-cows here. So we're going to round the spine. We're going to inhale, draw our chest forward through our hands. I'll move to the side so you can see me a bit better. Inhaling to come forward. And exhale, round the shoulders, pull on those knees for a point of contact and resistance. And then inhale, arch the back, bring the chest forward. And exhale, round, empty the belly, all of its breath. Draw that navel into the spine. And then inhale, fill the belly with its breath. Puff the chest. And round. Moving here, feeling into the shoulders, feeling into the spine. And then gently coming back through center. We're going to swing the legs around behind us, coming into a tabletop position. Wrists stack under shoulders, knees stack under hips. You can untuck the toes, allow them to be nice and relaxed. And just feel that nice strong line between your sit bones and your neck here. So we're going for that really flat back. Pressing into the thumb and the pinkies. This will help take some weight and pressure off your wrists. You're just going to gently rock back and forth over top of the wrists. Again, just warming them up before we attempt to load them with any sort of weight. They're such delicate little joints and they do a lot of heavy lifting for us. Good. And then take the fingertips out to the sides of the room. Now this will feel different again for everyone based on how good your joints feel. This might be where you stay, but rock back and forth here, feeling into a different angle of the wrists. Coming up over top of the hands. And then if this is accessible for you, take the fingertips towards the body, so the forearms and the elbow, the inside of the elbows, shine to the front of the room. And then we can take just gentle rock back and forths here, and then feeling into a different part of the wrists. It's really important as we are using our keyboards and our mouses. Our wrists get a lot of action in certain positions, so putting them in different positions that our body's potentially not used to can feel quite sticky. Just be really gentle here. And then gently release the hands back down onto the mat, finding that neutral tabletop once again. We're going to ground into the left hand, so take it slightly inward a little bit more. And then on an inhale, we're going to reach up with the right hand, twisting open to the right side of the room. Breathe here into the lower back, into the upper back. And then gaze down at your mat, take the right hand, plant it back down on the ground. Inhale to rise up with the left. Gazing towards the fingertips. Just feeling our body open up. Gazing down at the fingertips. Good. Take the left hand and plant it firmly. We're going to reach up with that right hand just for a moment. Once again. And then on an exhale, sit back on the heels, take the right hand behind you and lift the hips as the left arm reaches up, just for a slight back bend. So lifting our hips towards the sky and reaching back with the left hand. Go gently release. Come back to tabletop, plant the right hand. Inhale to lift the left, open up to the left side of the room. Sit back on the heels, plant the left fingertips behind you, and then lift the hips, reach up with the right. Beautiful. Lower the hips down, come back through your tabletop, and begin to walk the hands to the front of your mat, finding puppy pose. So we're going to keep the tailbone up nice and high, and then sink the upper body towards the ground. This is a beautiful shoulder opener. Now, if you have a pillow or something nearby, you might like to take that and place it underneath your forehead, or just feel the stretch here. You may like to lower your forehead to the mat, or perhaps bring your chin to the ground. Taking whatever feels good here. Breathing nice and deep. Gently walk the hands back to center underneath you. Send the knees as wide as your mat. And then once again, lower the sit bones down onto the heels and allow your body to rest in between your knees, finding child's pose. This is a really beautiful, restful pose. Now, if you are pregnant or this doesn't feel comfortable for you, you're welcome to keep that tailbone nice and high and just allow yourself to rest here. Okay, taking any option that feels good. Again, you might already feel this in your hips or in your shoulders. It's great for alleviating tension in the lower back. And on your next inhale, gently walk the hands back towards your body. Finding tabletop once again. This time we're going to tuck the toes as we prepare for our first downward facing dog. Now if you have high blood pressure, please be careful not to lower your head below your heart. So please do take your options, okay? Staying in child's pose and waiting for the cue to move into the next pose. Otherwise, if this is all good, we're going to tuck the toes and gently lift the knees an inch or so off of the mat, engaging our core. Good, we'll hold for 3, 2, 1, and then on your exhale, sit the tailbones up nice and high, come high on the toes, and then send your weight back, coming into your downward facing dog. Imagine that you're creating a V, an upside down V here. So bend the knees as much as you need. Often in the mornings, we're tighter than normal. And again, press into the thumb and pinky fingers. Allow the head to hang heavy. And send your chest towards the top of your thighs. It's as much an upper body opener as much as it is a back leg opener. Breathing here. And we'll find some movement. Bending the right leg, straightening the left. We'll pedal the feet out as we alternate that bending and straightening. Feeling into the calves and the hamstrings. And then find some stillness. Notice how different your legs might feel after some movement. Gaze to the top of your mat, then gently walk the feet towards the hands, finding a forward fold at the top of your mat. Again, bend the knees as much as you need here. Alright, allow the upper body to hang nice and heavy. If your legs don't straighten, that's absolutely fine. Just allow your upper body here to hang loose. Grab onto opposite elbows. We're going to dump any remaining tension in the neck. Shake your head yes. Shake your head no. Just allow it to hang nice and heavy. Feeling the back body open up. Release the hands towards the mat. And then vertebrae by vertebrae, we're going to roll our way up to standing. So moving slowly, moving mindfully. Unfurl. The head comes up last. And roll the shoulders back and down. Hopefully we're all feeling great. I'm going to inhale, lift the hands above the head. And then exhale, bring the hands to your hips, keeping that flat back, hinge from the hips, and find your forward fold once again. Inhale, half lift, find a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step the right leg behind you to the back of the mat. Lower the right knee down, coming into a low lunge. Now you can untuck those back toes and take the hands to the left knee. Press into that knee. We want to really open the hips up here. So you're going to feel this in your right hip flexor as we bend into that left knee. You're welcome to stay here. If you'd like to take a more traditional low lunge, you can lift the hands up overhead. We'll just breathe into those hips here. Gently take the fingertips, frame the left foot, and we're going to kickstand the right toes inward, so creating a nice stable foundation here. And then we're going to come up into our warrior two arms on our knees. So I'm not sure if you can see here, but my left toes are facing towards the side of the mat and my right toes are facing behind me towards you. So we're coming into our warrior two arms here and the warrior two on our knees. And then we're going to take that left forearm to our left thigh and reach the right arm up overhead for a variation of a side angle. So really opening up here, I'll move so you can see me again. So really opening up through those right side ribs, all the while bending into that left leg. Inhale to rise up. Kickstand that foot back and behind you. Bend it once again into the left knee. Now tuck the right toes, lift the right knee, finding a runner's lunge, and then step the left foot back behind you And send the tailbone high for downward facing dog. Just notice how each side of the body might feel now. Gaze towards the top of the mat. Walk the feet towards the hands, finding your forward fold. Inhale to half lift. Exhale to fall a little deeper. And this time, root to rise. Bend the knees and sweep the arms up overhead as you come to stand. Exhale, release the hands at heart center. Inhale to reach back up, and exhale, forward fold, finding that flat back, hinging from the hips. Good. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. And this time, inhale, step the left leg to the back of the mat, lower the left knee down, untuck the back toes, and come up into your low lunge, this time on the other side. So again, bending this time into the right knee, sending the left hip flexor, feeling that spaciousness as the left leg's sent long. Stay up nice and high here. Each side of the body will feel different, so bear that in mind. And then frame that right foot with the hands. Kickstand the left toes in this time. So I'll change directions again so you can see me. Kickstanding the left toes behind you. Come into your warrior two on the knees. This time bending into the right knee. And then take the right forearm to the right thigh. Reach the left arm up overhead. Good, gently release. Walk the left toes back in. Framing that right front foot. Tuck the left toes, lift the back knee. And then step the right foot back to the back of your mat. And send the tailbone nice and high for downward facing dog. Take a gentle breath here. Begin to walk the toes once more to the top of the mat, finding your forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Sweep the arms up overhead. And then exhale. Allow the hands to rest alongside the body. We're going to come to the long edge of our mat now. So turning towards the long edge, we're going to take the feet nice and wide, finding a really wide stance here, and turn the toes to each end of your mat. So we're going to come into a bit of a funky stance here. Bend the knees and then take the hands on top of the thighs. So we're finding a really nice hip opener already here. We're going to drop the shoulders as we exhale. So we're going to inhale to find a nice tall spine. And then we're going to exhale, drop the right shoulder, gaze over the left. Inhale through center, and then exhale, drop the left shoulder. Oh, this feels so nice. So we're going to drop the right shoulder once again, once more on each side. And inhale. Exhale, drop the left shoulder. Just feeling some spaciousness right through the shoulders, right through the hips. Good. All right. Sink a little deeper this time into your squat. So we're really working the legs now. You can take your hands off your knees if you like. Bring the hands to heart center for goddess pose. We'll hold here for 3, 2, 1. Gently release the legs, heel toe the feet in a little closer as we prepare for our Yogi Squat. Now, you are more than welcome to take a cushion or a block underneath your sit bones. Or we'll inhale to reach the arms up overhead, and then we're going to exhale, sink deep into our Yogi Squat here. Pressing the elbows into the knees to open up the hips a little bit more. And breathing. We're going to try and find that same breath we began our practice with. Each pose should feel graceful as we try and meet it with ease. If you find yourself holding your breath back out of the pose, okay, I won't torture you for too much longer. You can gently take your hands down onto the ground behind you, and we'll just make our way into a seated position. Good. Give the knees a nice little wriggle. Beautiful. All right, turn back to the top of your mat, placing the feet at the top. We're going to come onto our backs now. So lowering all the way down. Hopefully you can see me. I might need to lower this. Beautiful. We're going to take the heels nice and close to our sit bones here. And then we're going to lift the right leg up and cross that foot over top of our left thigh. So we're going to find lying pigeon pose, and this might feel good for your right glute already. If you like, come with me, reach around behind the left thigh, and then gently pull that knee towards your body. You could be feeling a really nice stretch here through the right hip, through the right glute. For a deeper stretch, you might like to reach around and hook onto the left shin. Just notice where it feels tight. And allow that part of you to create some more space as you exhale. Gently release the left leg, allowing the left foot to come back onto the ground. And then take the right foot back onto the ground. And we'll repeat with the other side, so lifting up the left leg, crossing over the right thigh, and reaching around to hook onto either the right shin, the right thigh, or just keeping the right foot on the ground. Once again, just becoming aware of any tension, any sticky points. These muscles can be really tight from sitting a lot. So just know you're giving your body a really, really good thing here. And we'll gently release that right foot, bringing both feet onto the mat. We're going to come into Happy Baby. Lifting both feet, once again, off of the ground. Reach around to hook onto the outside edges of your feet, or perhaps just your big toes. And then send the knees towards the ground. Opening up the hips here. You can rock and roll from side to side. Finding some gentle movement. And then release the feet. hug the knees in nice and close. Give your lower back a nice gentle massage by rock and rolling side to side. And then begin to rock back and forward, and we'll make our way into a seated position. So again, finding that easy, no effort pose that we found at the beginning of class this morning. And close down our practice here with a few deep breaths, a few moments of silence. Just allow the effects of your practice to settle in. Bringing attention to the points of contact with the mat. And noticing any differences in how you feel now compared to 30 minutes ago. Together we'll take 3 deep breaths, full inhales and full exhales. And bring the hands to heart center. We take a gentle bow of gratitude for our bodies, for the day. And just to yourself, we'll set a gentle intention for how we'd like to see our day play out. The kind of attitude we'd like to have, the kind of feelings we'd like to experience. Thank you all for joining me this morning. It's a deep privilege